Daniel. He continued to pin Daniel with his glare and refused to meet my eye. Undeterred, I continued, "Whom you met at graduation. Remember?" Jace clenched his jaw one final time before abandoning the doorway. He only stepped back a few paces, though, arms crossed over his chest and stance wide, like a bouncer at a club. "If you say so," he groused. "We're fine, Jace," I laughed at him, which I knew could backfire depending on how worked up he was. But I couldn't help it. Stress levels were high, and I laughed whenever I was nervous. And really, he was being ridiculous if he was jealous. Those blue eyes flared at me, but he didn't move a muscle. Well, except the one that kept popping in his jaw, which had me worried about his next dental visit. Daniel is Devon's brother, my sister's best friend. Well, one of them, anyway. One of the brothers, I mean. Not best friends. That's just Devon and maybe me. I took a deep breath to steady myself. It wasn't often I tripped all over my words, but something about two large dudes facing off over my honor or whatever nonsense this was, on top of a restless night, messed with my head. "We've known each other for a very long time. You've met. Be nice." "Hi, P." Daniel graced me with a smile before turning to my roommate. "Nice to see you again, Jace." He put a hand out, a smirk that reminded me so much of his older brother, still in place on his mouth. Between the smirk and the sky-blue eyes, it was hard not to see the resemblance. But Daniel was taller, broader, and his voice did things to my body Devon's never had or would. Thank God for that, too. I appreciated the fact he wasn't baiting or cowering to Jace. Honestly, it was a pretty typical green boy tactic. Smooth and placating ran in the gene pool, the same way devilish good looks did. Daniel was just one of 4 brothers, and they all had similar traits in spades. Surely feeling obligated because of the manly challenge thrown down by performing a simple handshake, Jace took Daniel's outstretched hand and pumped it slowly up and down. I couldn't stop my eyes from rolling again, guessing they were both squeezing as hard as they dared. I had gone from being completely invisible to causing a full-on pissing match. Boys were so weird. I was expecting my moving truck. This is a pleasant surprise. But what in the hell are you doing here? Daniel chuckled at me. "You didn't think you were going to drive all the way across the country by yourself, did you?" My defenses tingled and sprung up, a bit prickly at his tone. I was a strong, independent woman. Of course I could drive by myself. Actually, I did. I'm certainly more than capable of taking care of myself in the car for a few days. He reached out a hand, gently setting it on my shoulder. I could see Jace stiffen, opposed to my body reflexively relaxing under my friend's touch. "I have the utmost confidence in your independence and capabilities," he said, trying to soothe me. "But Faye, you're supposed to go on an epic post-graduation road trip with friends, or at least a friend. I volunteer as tribute." He appraised the glare on my face and probably the raised eyebrow as well. "It'll be great. Way better than you going alone." Jace snorted, and I turned to glare at him. I wasn't quite sure how to take Daniel's statement, but it seemed like my friend was mostly offering me kindness, not an insult, so I accepted it. This was a complication I wasn't expecting and definitely hadn't planned for, but it could work out. This could end one of 2 ways. It would either end up as a great way to strengthen our friendship bond or be horribly destructive. One of those scared the hell out of me. "Well, thanks, I guess." He quirked his mouth again, and the rest